Every town has a place like this. Nothing fancy, just familiar. A place where the door opens easy, tables get pushed together, and nobody asks why you stayed a little longer. It's where you end a good day, and sometimes where you survive a bad day. Meet Pete Sanford, owner of Steele Street Brewing in Ionia, Michigan. A simple idea that grew into a gathering place. Friends catching up, neighbors sharing a laugh, and strangers who don't stay strangers for long. How does a place earn the right to become a local watering hole? Why do simple things like a smile and a cold beer sometimes matter more than what we expect? That's what I'm here to find out. My name is Cliff DuVernois, and we are Total Michigan.
Well, Steele Street Brewing is really just a hometown pub. We do make all of our own beers. We are a brewery first and foremost. We also make pizzas that are quite popular. We have folks that come in just for the pizzas. As time has evolved, we've become a little bit more of a restaurant, but our heart and soul is certainly in making our own beer, providing a place for people to come together and visit with each other and just being a part of the community.
So how does a place like this even begin? Before the taps, before the tables, before anyone showed up. Who was Pete Sanford before Steele Street Brewing even existed? And what started his passion for brewing beer?
Originally, my parents were hippies. I was born in '69 in San Francisco, lived along the West Coast for my younger childhood until my parents divorced. My mother and my stepfather were both from Michigan, so we immigrated to the great state of Michigan, I guess. I wanted to pursue a biology degree, transferred to Central Michigan, and at that time I was working on dairy farms. Really enjoyed the dairy industry, and I was already focused on biology basic. You know, at this time, I think I'm just going to go ahead and transfer to Michigan State and pursue an animal science degree. And so I transferred to Michigan State, graduated in '92 with an animal science degree, and settled in the Ionia area because there were a lot of dairy cows. And my former career involved working with dairy cattle. Post-graduation, I was working for a small dairy as a herdsman. That dairy also had a sugar bush supply company for maple syrup. And one of the things you do in the spring is collect sap and hang around and boil sap, and of course drink beer. And the neighbor up the road had homebrew, and I'm like, wow, this is great.
I knew there was a homebrew story there somewhere.
And so he's like, yeah, I make this. And so I followed him along to a small homebrew supply store that's no longer there, and going there and just doing some extract batches. And so that's what piqued the interest. And so kind of started doing that off and on for a while. And here when I moved back to Ionia area, I had more free time, and I'm like, I'm going to get back into this. And so bought a nice all grain system and started going to a homebrew club in Grand Ledge, Michigan.
There you go.
There's several of us in that club now that own breweries. So we've been open almost 10 years. And so if you go back 10, 15 years ago, it's kind of every homebrewer is like, I'm just going to start a brewery. Why not?
Right.
Seems like a good idea.
Pete let me sneak into the kitchen to see just how the magic is made. First up, the margarita pizza. Start with the crust, then a helping of real chunky tomato sauce. Now break up that fresh mozzarella and spread it like you got nothing to prove. Next stop, fire that pizza in the oven for a few minutes. Take it out, then sprinkle fresh basil on top. A quick shot of nature's love potion that we call olive oil, and the heat from the pizza starts to bake that basil. But an extra minute in the oven helps to finish it off. Take it out, cut that chunk of love into slices, and bueno appetito. The Reuben is twice as yummy. Start with cheese, then corned beef, the real stuff. Then a generous helping of sauerkraut. Fire that beast in the oven. And if a German Reuben and an Italian pizza had a baby, it would look like this. Sauce it until it cries uncle. This is what love looks like. And watch how quickly your friends give up their firstborn to try a slice. And don't forget the beer to wash it down. Hey everyone, just want to take a moment and thank you for watching this episode, and I thank to Julie for actually turning me on to this place. And if you know of somebody in your area who's doing something extraordinary, leave a comment down below and let me know. I'm always looking for Michiganders who are doing some things to really impact their community. Making beer in your spare time is one thing. Betting your future on it is something else entirely. So what made Pete think that this was worth the risk?
I am still asking myself that question sometimes.
Fair enough.
It's very challenging. I think ignorance. It's like, I can do this. Why not? My wife is really good with numbers. She's a veterinarian, runs her own business, and we've both been a bit on the entrepreneurial side, and we were looking at this. It was sort of a retirement plan for me because been a herdsman. I'd taught school for a while and went back to being a herdsman, and then I started my own business as a hoof trimmer for dairy cows, which is quite physical, and I knew I couldn't probably do that forever. I had a knee injury that kind of kicked me out of the hoof trimming a little sooner than I wanted to be out, because I was still doing quite well in that business. But that motivated me to get this going. We had purchased this particular property as a foreclosure property, and things just kind of like, instead of putting money into my retirement account, I was buying used equipment, because at that time and the economics were similar to now, where a lot of businesses are going out, and so you could pick up a lot of used equipment, and I was just warehousing it. When I looked at this place, there was a drop ceiling. There were walls in here, but I knew that it was clear span, and I knew I could open it up. This is an environmental site. We had to go through all the state DEQ paperwork, pay for environmental studies, to make sure that everything was safe here with our future use. Challenging part for me was figuring out how you wanted to design everything and set things up, and not knowing what to do with zero experience in this business. We're set up as a pub. We are pub service, so everybody orders at the counter, and then so we're not really mingling around. It's a place where if you come in here and there's not at least 2 or 3 tables pushed together, it's an unusual night. People come here to visit with each other. They aren't here for an experience that is about us as much as it is their experience finding a place that's not at home, right? And so that's really, I think some of it is just having a spot to hang out. And if you want to go, not that our service isn't great, but our service is different than if you're going to a 5-star restaurant where someone picks up your fork when you drop it. So we will pick up your fork if we see you drop it. But generally we're behind the bar. So it's just a different style. It's a pub style. We have fantastic staff. I like to try to be the curmudgeon in the back that's grumpy. That's what I want to be. I've got people here that are great, and certainly they bring people in. I think we do a nice job.
Amazing staff serving a community they know by name. And when a place reaches that point, it usually finds a way to make belonging visible. That's where the Mug Club comes in.
We do have a lot of folks that use mugs. People feel good about that because they like to be part of the community. But it is cool to see all the handcrafted mugs, though. Every mug here has been made by the same lady that lives south of town. She's a teacher in town here. You know, those things, it's kind of fun. It's fun to keep it close. You know, if you're gonna do a coffee beer and you have someone like Rodney and Sozo up the road from you, he makes roasts great coffee, and he's fantastic with the way he sources his coffee, and we are very similar. We just serve beer. Same atmosphere up there. People come in, they drink coffee. We're a coffee shop that sells beer. Well, we have a website, Steele Street Brewing. We have a Facebook presence, 300 South Steele Street. Back when Rex Halfpenny had the Michigan Beer Guide and stopped for a minute, and I think my quote was, if you can't find the brewery on a street that's about 2 blocks long, you don't deserve a beer. But at the end of the day, people are happy with my beer, and that's what makes me happy.
How does a place earn the right to become the local watering hole? Not by chasing attention or trying to be everything to everyone. It earns it the slow way, by showing up for the people who walk through the door, whether they're carrying a good day, a bad one, or nothing special at all. Some places just pour drinks, but Steele Street Brewing connects people and keeps them coming back. And it's a community I want to join. My name is Cliff DuVernois, and we are Total Michigan.